but like, I don't know. And they had this lunatic on. He's on all the time. They're paid half-hour shows, but this Peter Popoff guy, with the fucking miracle spring water, the prosperity preachers, talk about a fucking bill of goods, man.
Sad.
You know, that guy Creflo Dollar, his name is fucking Creflo. I'm guessing that's not his Christian name, but it's his evangelical name is Creflo Dollar.
I think he made that name up, right?
I would hope so. That was the dude, you tweeted about him years ago. That was the dude who was out in the world getting donations because he needed to upgrade his G4 to a G6. And I was like, G6 Christ. This guy, he's saying, I need to donate because I need to spread the gospel.
Yeah.
And so you need to give me money so that because my G4 just ain't cutting it anymore, I need to upgrade. I wish he had gotten a 737 Max 8, but that's just me.
It's just so amazing that hustle still works. The prosperity ones are so gross because they go after people that are so poor and destitute that they can't pay their bills, and they tell them, if you just send me money, God will pay you back tenfold. And I know what you're saying, you don't have any money, but you do. You do. You take that money, you send it to Jesus, and Jesus will bring prosperity in your life. And then they have all these folks that are giving testimonials about how I was down on my luck. I didn't have money for rent. I didn't have money for food, but I knew that Jesus needed this money. So I sent Jesus the money, and Jesus paid me back tenfold. And now my life is filled with joy and prosperity.
Am I being hateful when I say that is what religion preys on?
Not all
weak,
religion.
The poor, people searching for answers.
Yeah, but I think for some people, there's this is older, wiser me, right? When I was younger, I would agree with you 100%. But I think at this point, there's some benefit to having community and having this environment where everybody goes to be humbled. And everybody goes to agree that they're going to be good people that follow the ethics of Jesus. And you put a little money in the dish, and they have to keep the operation running. And I think there's a lot of churches that do a lot of good. But I think for every one or two that do a lot of good, there's these motherfuckers that are just stealing money and driving Rolls Royces.
Hypocrites,
and
just
living
hypocrites.
In giant fucking castles. Like that Joel, whatever his name is. What's that guy's name?
Osteen.
Yeah, that guy.
Houston.
That motherfucker, he owns a huge arena. They do the show in the and he caught a rash of shit when he didn't let all the hurricane victims stay in his place.
Yeah, he was holed up in his $10 million mansion at the time.
I'd be amazed it was only $10 million.
Well, it's not his only property, you know.
I mean, sure.
He has several houses.
It's just so distorted. The whole idea of it all is so distorted. But I think there's a lot of community churches that do a lot of good, where they provide people with comfort. It doesn't necessarily have to make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it provides them with comfort.
I appreciate, I respect people of faith. I think it must feel wonderful. I don't know how it feels, but it must be wonderful to believe in something like that so devoutly, without any evidence, without any indication or proof whatsoever that what you so firmly believe in is true. But it's the hypocrisy of it that I just can't abide by.
Right, like these prosperity guys. Yeah.
Like the prosperity guys, like people who used to have or claim to have some kind of holier than thou moral code that now think like the pimp president's cool. It's right. I get it, but your whole thing was that Bill Clinton was the biggest scumbag in the world,
right?
And he needed to be impeached and castrated, and but let's have some consistency. It's the hypocrisy that I can't abide by. Well, let's have some consistency, is all.
Well, particularly with Trump, because Trump was this is not a knock on him, but he was a lifelong Democrat. I mean, he only really became a Republican when he thought about running for president.
Yeah, and he was an independent for a minute, then he was a Democrat again, then he was a Republican.
It's a pure hustle. I mean, the glass has been cleaned and squeegeed, and you could see right through it.
That's why it works on the evangelicals. That's what I'm saying. That's their whole. He's like the pimp Joel Osteen. Yeah. That's what it is.
Well,
he found his hustle.
Yeah, and I don't want to be mean about this, but I think it's accurate that there's a level of intellect that just subscribes to that kind of stuff. That, I had a friend, she was in the Mormon church for a long time, and she left the church, but she was really honest about it. She said, I have a problem that I'm susceptible to bullshit. Like she's susceptible because she grew up a fundamentalist, and so she's susceptible to to like yoga type people, like
gurus,
the crystals and the light. Feel the light. She's susceptible to all that shit, and she would recognize her susceptibility, but she was being really honest about it. That she's like, I have a real problem. I grew up believing something that doesn't make any sense, and I believed it wholeheartedly. And she goes, and that sort of formulated a big part of how I ascertain what is accurate in the world. So she's left with these like childlike skills of being able to discern what's bullshit and what's a hustle. She's like a little kid.
I have a great amount of respect for people who grew up in a cult and who can make their way out of it. I mean, can you imagine when you're a child, and you're most impressionable and you're steeped in that? That's all you know. Like you don't know that there's an alternate perspective, and you're able to grow up and say, oh, wait, there's a whole big world out there. Maybe I'm not being told the truth. That's incredibly powerful. Like, it's really hard, I think, to break with the only thinking that you've ever known in your life. I think it's amazing.
It's probably one of the hardest things that a grown adult has to do is to recognize that the paradigm, this framework they've been living their life under is utter horseshit. It's like, I mean, the Mormon one is so crazy too, because it's like the results are great. The people are so nice.
Yeah.
Like they're the nicest cult members of all time. But then you go back and look at the actual framework of the religion itself. You're like, wait a minute. He was 14? You're like, hold on. Joseph Smith was 14 in 1820 when he found golden tablets that contained the lost work of Jesus, and only he could read them because he had a magic rock.
But like, that's Judaism and Catholicism. They're all crazy mythological horseshit.
But they know who the guy was. Like, I mean, he's so recent.
Well, that's the thing is it's like Scientology. It's like, well, we know it's a lie.
Scientology's even crazier.
Well, a science fiction writer literally was a failed science fiction writer.
A terrible writer.
Terrible, failed science fiction writer.
That motherfucker never made a second draft in his life.
No. And one day said, if you want to make real money, start a religion.
Yeah.
That is his greatest quote.
Yeah.
And did it.
And then
God bless him. Can't knock his hustle. People want to buy into that.
But what's amazing that
in
2019 it's still rocking. In some way. I mean,
it is.
Even after all those documentaries, even after the Leah Remini show, all these things just...
They go out in the world, they tell everybody it's horseshit, and then a brand new Scientology center opens in Miami. I'm like, seriously?
Really?
We know.
We brand new one opened?
We already know.
Some people don't know. The people who don't know are never gonna know. That's what it is. It's like you're going... If you want to put in a money, like some people have $100, some people have $5, and this is like intellectually. Some people have a lot of room to work with. Some people don't. Their brain doesn't work as good. Just like some people have poor genetics when it comes to their ability to run fast, some people have really shitty brain development genetics.
Let me ask you this, because obviously you would have sympathy for someone who was taken advantage of or swindled or the victim of a con person. How much sympathy do you have for the gleefully ignorant? Or the willfully ignorant, meaning like the information is there, it's available. Before I give Scientology my money, I could just, I don't know, Google it.
Right.
How much sympathy do you have for like the willfully ignorant people who sort of it's like the fucking dude from Airplane. They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. Yeah. I say let them crash.
Well, I'm a big fan of Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, and he has a quote that I always like to use: "You got to let a hoe be a hoe." And I think in that sense, like, you got to let dummies get fleeced. It's just part of it. And part of it is there for us to see. Part of it is there for you to go, what? They gave away all their money? Oh, shit. Like, there's something to that. It benefits us. Like, I'm not a fan of these videos where kids try to skateboard off the side of a building and they slip and fall and land on their head and everybody's like, oh, shit. But those videos serve a purpose, and that purpose is not everybody gets to do the handstand on the side of the building and survive.
Right.
Some people fall and they land on their fucking head and they're never the same again.
Yeah.
And then they're left with like a third grader's IQ for the rest of their life. That's real, man.
So it's George Carlin's bit about, the kid who swallows the most marbles doesn't get to grow up and have kids of his own. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, unfortunately. It sucks if it's your kid.